All right. You are listening to an episode of Transparency and Merit. We're going to need some help just to see if our audio is coming in right. So if you're chatting in there.
Folks, we apologize. We didn't have we did not have it up before. The sound was of poor quality. So we are doing it a second time to see if it can be up again.
Let's go to YouTube really quickly. Transparency. Go ahead, man.
Because you can go to your own. We can go to the YouTube page up there on the second screen.
I can't because it'll change it on the screen.
And as we're doing that, basically, as he's doing that, I'll just set up the scenario as a moment. I got into a bit of a debate with I'll just set up the scenario as a moment. I got into a bit of a debate.
Same.
With
Why is it doing
yeah, so basically right now.
Oh, let me try one more thing. I do have an option, people. So let me just cam mic. Let's do this audio here. Yeah, this isn't picking up.
Instead of the mic that we have.
Okay, everybody out there, how do we sound?
I think the internal mic may sound better. So let's just, and we might have to buy a new one.
It sounds great.
That's great. So we've just been taking off the internal mic, which I spent a boatload of money on, by the way. Not really a boatload. And I don't know where okay, so if we can go back to the StreamYard.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. I got to do something really quick. Go for it. Go.
All right. So as we're talking now, I did get into a bit of a tiff with and he's trying to hear how we sound. What are we doing here? Are you
getting rid of the other one?
Yeah, good enough. He's getting rid of the other one, unlisted. Just put it on private. Shh.
Come on, go.
Okay, why did you put it on unlisted?
Because I don't want it up there. All right, go.
Why didn't you just put it on private? All right. Well, okay. So I got into a bit of a tiff with a not real. She never responded to me, but other people responded to me on her page. And if we can open up.
Not yet. Just come on.
Okay.
Keep going. Just tell us what you want to set. Okay. Set it up.
All right. I want to set up. Well, I have to read my Twitter in order to set that up, and that's on my other page. And if we could go to that, just click on the thing there. Click on my Twitter, please. Click on my notifications. I got a notification already. And this person, by the way, said, I don't know where it starts, basically. Okay, can we click on this right on the side here to see? Okay, there are no nations with ethnic minorities that you can point to. Come on. Now it seems like only nations with large European diasporas are supposed to accept diversity. Now, what I asked him basically was, can you point to a nation that has, I believe it's something like, that has large ethnic minorities, Can you point to other nations that do it in practice? And this is what I'm responding to.
Okay, this is the original tweet. This one goes out to all my fellow Asian Americans. I'm better on the earth. Aren't you the guy who tried to hurt me with the word goodbye? Though it took some time to survive you. I'm better on the earth. All right. Imagine our image of Koreans in solidarity with the Black community.
Yeah,
with their guns here.
And this is that actually is a picture of that's a picture of the 1992 riots that happened after the Rodney King verdict, the Rodney King verdict, and that is of Koreans protecting their storefronts.
All right, so this guy who you ended up having a conversation with says the Korean community suffered the most disparity and displacement during the LA riots, having their shops looted and destroyed, ruining their livelihoods. And then, it goes on. Let's see here. Because they continued to discriminate and bully blacks, of course they got hit. And he said they did, and I'm not justifying their racial attitudes towards the black community. They only did it out of fear of losing their livelihoods after immigrating to America, lack of understanding, yada yada.
Minorities, communities.
That's bullshit, by the way. And we'll get into this later. Rather than banding the Asian African communities to disprove the model minority myth and racial triangulation, they went against each other to prove it. Asians and African Americans are both minorities, yet American society validated Asians. The model minority myth is that if Asians can be successful, so can other minorities. This was created in an effort to counter the civil rights movement and further oppress black communities the most out of their other minority communities. The Asian community must stand in solidarity with the African community. And then you said, what did you say?
I said, please give me an example on how black oppression in America. Also, any nations that America can look towards how to treat all people. Please don't give any example of European nation, or please don't give any European nations as an example. I want nations of color. And I said that because it seems like it's only nations of color that have to kind of accept this kind of diversity, and that we're all, that basically, oh, thank you, Debbie, for telling us we sound perfect. But and by the way, I want to mention that we did have a little bit of a problem with our sound. It is back up now.
So you answered there are no nations with ethnic minorities that you can point to come on Come on now. It seems like only nations with large European diasporas supposed to accept diversity. Why is that? No response yet.
Yeah, no response yet from this gentleman. But again, I'm just saying, like, there's a national double standard. And I'm thinking that this kind of SJW thought process, because you were in Korea, Joe, was there any kind of thinking like that?
I have so much perspective on this, it's crazy, because not only did I live in South
thinking like that.
Okay, so we do sound good. Wow. Crispy clean.
Yes.
Let me just link up this really quickly.
But
I have some thoughts on this. So I not only did I live in South Korea for a while, over a year,
mm-hmm.
and it was right in 2002. It was right after 9/11. People weren't exactly thrilled with Americans or Westerners in general at that point. George Bush was getting panned. There were signs in Korea, no Westerners allowed in certain shops and restaurants. I never faced any scrutiny. I had a great time there. But
you were considered a Westerner, and there were places that you were not welcome, correct?
Yeah, I didn't suffer that, but I saw signs. It never affected me. I even went into places where there were signs, and just to kind of test it out. And I don't think people really understood what they were posting. But let's go back a step here. I've also worked in America, here in California. I've worked for an American Korean-owned company. And so I got some kind of business experience working with Koreans. This is right after I had come back from South Korea, and it was kind of night and day. My experiences with the Koreans, he was I think a second generation. So I think his parents had come to America, and then he was born here, but he still had very strong ties to Korea. But he was full out going for the American dream, and working for him was incredibly tough. And now he had racist views. He wasn't afraid to share them. And when I was in Korea, I worked with a lot of, I was a teacher there, and I worked with a lot of Koreans in South Korea, and they would tell me racist jokes that were blatant, incredibly harsh, and and not only that, I saw some strange things too at nightclubs, going out at night with Koreans and with other Westerners. And I remember being in a bar, and a black man came in, and he may have been, if I recall correctly, he was wearing military. I think he had been in the military, and I remember him walking in, and basically the entire club stopped and stared. And this guy got so much attention, and there was just so much, and so many comments from the Koreans in Korea that were very racist, and it was a very strange thing to me. It was almost like, it felt to me like it was kind of maybe how views towards blacks were in America many years before I was born. It just seemed very backwards in a way. But anyways, I don't know if that fits into what your narrative is right here, but that's what I saw.
Well, my basic narrative is the kind of view that this gentleman has is basically, it is promoted by both the mainstream media and the school, the educational system and the mainstream media promote this person's narrative. The one thing is anything that is opposite to that is censored. And the only time that this narrative is fought against is on the internet, and the internet right now is heavily censored. And you cannot have open, honest discussions. Now, there are points that he can point to that might be correct, but there are other points that he is going to point to that are absolutely wrong. And I do resent, as an American of European descent, I resent people coming into my country that, and I want to say that my ancestors built, and I'm not, I would never go there if this kind of view wasn't there, but who want to lecture me, who haven't been here generations. My father, when he was in the Air Force, basically, he said he had a black friend and they mistreated him in the South. He said he didn't set foot in the South for years afterwards. But I resent somebody coming into me, and lecturing me, and also being racist towards me. And I don't think that in other countries, particularly Asian countries. And I'm looking here. Let me see. Someone should get rid of the half Asian autistic guy and the. You might want to wear a better hat. But someone does
half Asian. I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Well.
And flabby arms. Those aren't flabby. Those would put a hole in my head.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Well, you know what? Whatever.
He needs to lift more than a sandwich.
Well, we have our fans. But it does, there's a part of me that is bothered by that. And it reminds me of what Sarah Zhang did, who put all these anti-white racist tweets out. And, it's only whites that aren't absolved of moral responsibility. And this person wants to go in. And that chick was basically virtue signaling and calling how bad and evil white folks are and how systematic and evil people are. Instead of having a discussion, it's really a myopic thing where she's dancing and saying, you're going to commit fellatio on white supremacy. It's a bunch of nonsense, bunch of leftist nonsense. I mean, to me, it sounds like a bunch of leftist nonsense. And the one thing is these people really don't debate and they don't have discussions. All they do is basically Basically, what they say is, "Oh, this is white supremacy," and they don't debate any of it. And am I getting any more replies from Jacob Adobo? Is that his name? And yeah, the term model minority. Every group.
Oh, here he did answer that, by the way. Please give examples. And he said, in terms of looking towards a nation of color that American can look towards to as a model on the basis of fair treatment regarding race, it would be very difficult. Race itself is a social construct that is so deeply embedded in society that it's almost impossible to disregard.
Well, that's when I said, yeah, are there no ethnic minorities in different countries that you can point to? That
was his response, right?
No, this was my response to this. So we're kind of going it backwards.
Oh, sorry.
But I said, come on, are there no ethnic or racial minorities in other countries? I mean, and the truth is, discrimination is not necessarily a sign that the minorities will do poorly. Because, what was I going to say? Because, for example, in Malaysia, the Chinese are greatly discriminated against, but they thrive. And what are we looking at here? Are you doing that to Don? Who you?
No, I'm just linking the show.
Yeah.
I'll bet Callie OTM thinks a Q-tip must feel like a barbell. Start using kettlebells and leave the kettle chips alone.
All right. You know what? My weight.
Fat shaming. Autistic. Nudnik.
Well, yeah. You know what? I am 50. And let's see his arms, because I'm pretty sure they're pretty flabby too.
Yeah, he swims all the time.
Yeah, he swims all the time. That's like that's a real manly sport.
In Thailand swamps.
Yeah. Yeah. Although Thailand has done rather well in their, I know that Vietnam only has, the last I checked, that Vietnam only has one case of corona.
Thailand has tons.
Not Thailand, but Vietnam only has one case.
No, I said Thailand has a ton of cases though.
Probably all
in one person.
From one person. Thank you, Howard.
He's enjoying that all the fake news. Good job.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Where were you at? I think we lost our place.
But America. Basically, it to a degree seems like it's a load of ingrates. America, basically, what are we doing here?
I'm just checking the numbers. Go on.
Oh, we only got 4 numbers.
No, that's the old video. Relax. All right. We do have 4 listeners and 4 viewers right now. Welcome to the show.
That's good. Welcome to the show. And as I've said before, this seems like a very Western phenomenon, and it's a lot of foreign. Like the people, a lot of the parents of foreign-born become SJWs because that's the only thing they're taught, and to kind of be hip. It's easy. It's easy to go the anti. It's easy to go to the fanatical anti-racist left. Try and fight against it. Try and stand up and even ask for a debate. See what happens. It's not brave. It's not like the brave men and women are actually the brave men, because there were no women fighting on the front. But it's not like the bravery of the soldiers who fought in Korea and saved you from the communist North. You wouldn't even be able to immigrate here if it wasn't for the brave soldiers in, from the USA and the United Nations that risked their lives so you could immigrate to America. Because if North Korea had succeeded and become communist, you'd still be living under that regime. And then you come here and you support the same types of authoritarian dictatorship that the left promotes. It's kind of sad, basically, and that's what I see with a lot of these people. They become leftist, and it's a lot of people believe that it's rooted in Marxism, where it's whites are on the lowest rung of the the moral hierarchy. And I kind of resent it. I kind of resent someone coming into I would love to go to Japan and mention how mistreated minorities are. I mean, could you go into Korea? Do you think you could go into Korea and start, like, are there any minorities in Korea, by the way?
Outside of the military?
So there are no minorities that go there to live for the most part.
Oh yeah, there are. Teachers. There's all kinds of Westerner teachers from all over the world, and a lot of them stay and live there.
What percent, though? What percent of Korea is not the same ethnicity?
Very low. Very low. It's a very ethnocentric society.
Yeah. A lot of Asian countries have very ethnocentric societies. Now, they did have slavery. They enslaved their own people. And we're unique but I mean, America wasn't even the largest place. And we're getting a lot of calls from this guy.
You guys are poster boys for ADD ×2. Whatever.
Thank you.
Whatever.
All right.
Why does the pseudo flabby-armed guy rock back and forth like a parrot? I don't know. What are you talking about? Get a life.
I guess I am rocking back and forth.
Get a life. Get a life. Go on live stream yourself.
Yeah.
You don't think people? Did you think that we're gonna get on here, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, look at those two sexy dudes"? No. We're just Brian and Joe. We're just two guys, and we're trying to give some information. Enjoy it or don't. Up to you.
Yeah, you don't have to enjoy it. You can even disagree. We welcome disagreement if it's But and like I said, there's a part of me that really pisses me off about this kind of thing. It's really, like I said, it seems really myopic, and just very narrow-minded. I mean, that chick's view was really narrow-minded and kind of stupid. Stop doing that stupid dance and saying that I guess I can't say the word, but she posted that we were that Asians to stop her Asian diaspora. Can I say anything to my European diaspora? Because I guess she meant that for Asians around the world. Can I speak up to my European diaspora? Can you go back? Where's that chick's video? Where's that chick's video again? Can we play that video again?
Which one?
The one where that chick is dancing. See if you can get that.
Is it in your notifications?
I tweeted it to you, Joe. So if you go to your YouTube.
Well, let's go to your homepage here. And let's see. How do I get to it again? Oh, I know. It should be here. This one? No.
No. I just tweeted it to you though, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it would be here.
That's not the video.
This one? No.
No,
not that one.
No, it's not a YouTube video, dude. That's
all right.
So scroll down. I like this picture of Joe Biden right now. Scroll up right here. This one right. There we go. But it's nothing of South Africa. But it's something that I tweeted to you.
Let's see. This one?
No, play that one. I thought that was funny though.
Get off the flute.
Wait, play that again. It's only 18 minutes. Can we expand it for the audience, please?
No.
All right. She sucks. It's like that chick that was dancing.
Get off the fucking flute.
You got to retweet that, by the way. That was great. I thought I tweeted it to you. I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it either.
I'm not seeing the damn thing. I got some more tweets at me, and I think it's only...
Let's see here. Hold on. Tweets and replies. Nope, I don't have anything. Let's see here. Oh, we got some response here. Let me guess. You were comparative literature. So somebody else is after this guy.
Is he after him or after me?
Him. He's talking about a student. Are you a student?
No, I'm not.
No, he's talking to that guy.
Yeah. I wonder if we can go back, because I just wanted to play that person's video again. And she was talking about her. Can I take a looky here? I'm sorry, folks. Trying to move in here. This is it. Here, let me explain.
Try to hurt me with the word goodbye.
There it
Know
is.
it took some time to survive you.
Stand with our black
Better
brothers
on
and
the
stop pointing.
Aren't you the guy who
All right, that's
tried
enough of that. But can I talk to my European diaspora? Am I allowed to do that?
to hurt me with the word goodbye? Know it took
White
some
supremacy is not our ally. Who said that Who said that white supremacy is your ally?
Aren't you the guy
Who said you have to live up to the model minority? What a bunch of nonsense! You know what? She's just jumping on the bandwagon. She's just jumping on the fanatical anti-racist bandwagon, and it's really a leftist, and it's rooted in Marxism. And from someone who almost got gobbled up by communism.
Is this Reds?
No. But this, from someone who comes from a country that almost got gobbled up by leftist authoritarian communism, and actually it's totalitarianism. And South Korea, by the way.
What's Yellow Peril?
Yellow Peril. That's what they said in World War II. Yellow Peril supports Black Power.
I never heard that. All right.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard that. I've heard of Yellow Peril. It's the first time that I've heard the two terms Yellow Peril and Black Power. This chick's a complete leftist. And, it does anger me. It does make me angry. Welcome to the dregs of Twitter. Silence the brain cells as they commit suicide all at once. God.
He's on a Twitter frenzy.
He's on a Twitter frenzy. He hates us.
Let's see how many other tweets. Has he talked about anything else besides us recently?
Well, no, okay. He's is that his uncle right there? Is this person? I think that he's related to this person.
You have released the whirlwind, and you will pay for taking away fundamental rights. I want to tell you, Gorsuch. I want to tell you, Kavanaugh. You have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
I think that's Uncle Maury's. I think it's his.
You won't know what hit you if you go
I think that's his
forward with
uncle.
this awful decision.
Man,
you won't know what hit you.
You won't know what hit you. Okay, so he did tweet.
Sounds like his rhetoric.
And this is by any means necessary. So that's basically.
So since March 4th.
Mm-hmm.
There were no tweets by this person. Today we go live and look, 10 new tweets.
He is on a Twitter rampage here.
Yes.
And so that's wonderful.
Yes.
Get
on the bandwagon.
But basically, and let me just say this: I blocked Uncle Maury for. I blocked, but by the way, I want to mention that I blocked him on my Skype for calling me several times while I was doing a show.
I'm not sick. Fuck you.
All right. But I blocked him for habitually calling my show, and he has been known to harass. He's a smart person with different points of view, and I would accept him if he wasn't. I'm reading the Braille. Yes. So I'm going to ask this question. So if this woman who danced, and I believe she's Korean, if she danced and talked about her Asian diaspora, can I talk about my European diaspora? Am I allowed to do that throughout the land? I mean, basically, we're the only nation, usually it's nations with large European diasporas that are asking to accept people of other nationalities. Granted, America isn't ideal, and we strive to live up to these ideals. But when you censor us, and you censor different thought, and it's basically, if you go against the fanatical anti-racist thought, you get censored. No debate for you. I guess people are afraid of information. I mean, look at some of these people. These people are insane. They're crazy. And they have control of the Discord. They're violent. They're rude. They're obnoxious. And it's like, is this what we want? Is this the bill of goods that we were sold when, we wrote the 1965 Immigration Reform Act, which was, primarily a European diaspora that wrote it? We didn't have to accept anybody else. We didn't have to, we didn't have to accept the large numbers of immigrants that came in, but we did. Is this the price that we have to pay? To be chastised? To be censored? Look at this, rape. Well, I agree with him on that, but
What is this? What is this?
is that a man or a woman?
What is this?
We need to talk to her. Can we get her as a guest, Joe?
And why is she a slut? I don't even know her.
Yeah. And the way you dress should, Planned Parenthood, Tumble.com. And by the way, these people don't allow debate. These are the pro-feminists. But the worst people, in my opinion, are the ravaging anti-racists. They are the worst. They're the ones who censor. They're the most. Are you putting that picture up high and low?
Oh, this is great.
Yes.
Terminal butt hurt rears its ugly head again by the SJWs.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, and people have said they don't see these in other countries, in countries of color. They don't see this kind of thought, particularly in Asian countries. It's only Asians that come here, and some of them really soak up all of the anti-racist left propaganda, and very myopic, very narrow-minded, and don't debate. And this guy did, by the way, debate, but on average, you don't necessarily get that, and kind of despise. I kind of have grown to despise them because they promote their propaganda and then they block people and they censor people, which, like I said, we should have the right to debate and say whatever we want. It's like my feelings aren't spared when you say stuff, but when I say something back, all of a sudden, you have the right to try to censor me. It's just a bunch of nonsense. And I don't think we can call in as your Skype because your Skype's not connected here.
Skype? You have Skype, right? Same
but
number.
my Skype.
Oh, it's not the same number?
No.
Hmm.
I don't know what the number is even. I don't know if we even have a number.
Oh, it's not this number then. Okay.
Have people been trying to call you?
Not today.
I heard the phone.
Yeah, it's not my phone. It's not my.
And you don't know if people are trying to call the Skype number?
Not Skype. Well, I'll take this down then. All right. No
Sorry.
phone calls. No phone calls.
No
people.
phone calls, people. Sorry.
You got to find out you're paying on that. You should get your phone number.
I don't have a phone number?
You do.
If I call your phone, you can tell me what the phone number is. And as we're waiting, I have a phone number though. And he's getting calls at the yin yang. I'm taking over the chair here.
Oh, we have a response from Jake Jacobo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's go back.
Oh, we do?
Hold on. Move it. Move it. All right.
No, I want to strengthen the gap between communities. So yeah, only one response. Let me scroll down.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, scroll. Let's see. Is this? Because it usually goes to the. Oh wait. Let me go to my notification thing here. No, I just want to strengthen the gap between minority communities. Okay, how should I respond to that? I almost want to put a picture here. And where is
Why are
this?
you doing it now? I mean, come on.
Well, I want to just almost want to give. All right, I almost wanted to ask him a question on this, but yeah, I won't do it now. But I have a picture of South Africa, and I almost wanted to know how he feels about that because Oh wait, let me do this right now. And then if you can write, Joe, how do you feel about what's going on in South Africa? And
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to ask him a question because I kind of feel to a degree, like I said, they really downplay what goes on with us, and also the rapes in Europe. Over an estimated, countless rapes happened in England by grooming gangs, and they refused to say anything because they didn't want to be seen as racist.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And are you trying to get on to Skypey poo?
No. All right. So are you still going here?
You know what? I think I want to end that. I just, like I said, it kind of upsets me. And, I think it would really be good to have a movie about the Korean War because we did fight communism and we helped a lot of people escape oppression. And they shouldn't come to our country, or they at least should know something about our sacrifices and the sacrifices, even when the country was racist, that we helped defeat a very, we helped the spread of a very totalitarian regime in their nation. And they shouldn't repay us by sitting here and calling us white supremacists. It's really a bunch, it does anger me. It does anger me. And it's like, it doesn't make me feel good about about the state of affairs. It just it makes me angry, and I guess they're going to pick up on the bandwagon. I guess these anti-racist leftists seem to be winning, but they're horrible people. Many of them are violent. Many of them are very authoritarian, and they're fanatical. And hopefully there's more of us than there are of them. These are nasty, vile, cruel people. And they have no empathy for any of your suffering.
Are SJWs right-leaning individuals who act like the very people they claim to be fighting?
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
No.
Yeah.
They're left-leaning, right?
Yeah.
Social justice warrior, a pejorative term for individual repeatedly engages in arguments on social justice on the internet, often in a shallow or not well thought out way, for the purposes of raising their own personal reputation. Very similar to a cheese nibbler. A social justice warrior does not necessarily strongly believe all that they say, or even care about the groups they are fighting on the behalf of. They typically repeat points from whomever is the most popular blogger or commenter of the moment, hoping that they will get SJ points and become popular. So it's what a cheese nibbler is, political cheese nibbler.
Yeah, and like I said, it's myopic, and in the end, it's thoughtless, it's downplaying, and it's lack of empathy. They have no empathy for you as a human being.
Dennis left the country about an hour ago. Joe?
We will get corona from him.
Yeah, he ended up bailing and going back to Canada. We were supposed to meet today. The original plan from a couple months ago, leading up to this trip that he's on, the original plan was for me to pick him up yesterday, but everything's been so screwed up. And today would have been the day. Brian and I were going to hang out with him. We were set to go, and he went to the airport this morning early on.
Yeah. Again, these people will downplay and hide the rapes of Europe, the murders that are going on in South Africa, the murder that happened in Zimbabwe. They don't even mention it, which is cruel. And they basically, like I said, they downplay anything that happens that's wrong to you. They downplay it. And it's like I said, these individuals are very cruel, and they have no empathy for you. And you should have no empathy. I mean, why should you have empathy for people that have no empathy for you and accuse you all the time of all kinds of things? What's the point?
Wow, we have a whole bunch of people here hanging out. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
We got Andy Bowen. Joe can call in. I wish. Is there a way we can connect with anybody? Does anybody want to call in?
Well, if you call our Skype, if you call the Skype from there, it'll show, like on your own phone, it'll show the number.
It doesn't because your name just pops up.
All right. Well, then, sorry.
Oh, look who's here. I just gave you 6 thumbs down. I wish I could let the fat man put a thumb up your ass.
Pay me enough money.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Why would somebody put 6 thumbs down on something?
Why are you so cruel? Why are you so cruel? Only because I got angry with him and I blocked him, by the way.
That's the kind of people we're going to meet on YouTube.
Well, you know what I mean? I agree with a lot of his points to a degree, and he has the right to say what he has to say. The only time that I've gotten upset with him is that he used our platform to fight someone else, and he called me several times while I was doing a show, interrupting my show, and I put the do not disturb sign, and he bypassed that.
Yeah, we got many calls. We both did.
Yeah.
I think we both got that same treatment.
We only got 5 people listening. And we got to mention, by the way.
Yeah, we got many calls.
What's this? We got to mention right here.
Hold on. Put your hand down a second. We only have 3 thumbs down.
Yeah,
but thank you for those. It's alive. You got a notification. Okay.
Why do I have notification? I don't have,
What?
I don't usually put.
If you subscribe to people, you're gonna get notifications.
Okay. Usually when because I don't click the notification bell on there, but that's fine.
Yeah. There's only 3 thumbs down as of right now. If you are watching, hit subscribe. You don't have to like the show.
We got another dislike.
Oh, we got our 4th. Thank you.
We got our 4th.
That's probably Bathtub Girl.
Yeah. By the end of the day, we may get more. But it is what it is. You know what? What can I tell you?
Yeah. If you have time to swap accounts and go from one account to the next and give us a thumbs down, go for it. I don't care.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do.
Aussie Andrew was so full of garbage, Debbie. Full of garbage.
Were you on the show last night?
No, I was listening, and this guy, Aussie Andrew, is so full of hot air. It's insane.
Is he an SJW?
Thank you, Debbie. We like our likes. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie, for clicking like.
Thank you for going with your honest opinion. You may click dislike all day long. Who cares? What are you going to accomplish? Yeah. What are you going to do?
But back to our topic. The anti-racist left punishes what it doesn't like, and it holds up. And it only holds up one group to moral standards, and then it absolves every other group of that. And I'm not going to say, I would almost say F you and your double standards. I'm not going to say the full word, but, screw you and your double standards. You want me, like I said, you want one group to, I'm repeating myself again, folks. I don't
Do
want
you have
to.
anything else to add on this?
I don't have anything else to add on.
What else are we waiting for? Do you want to get into the drama here?
No, I don't want to get into the drama on the other channels.
I'm glad that everybody's here. People don't have anything to do right now. Everyone's staying home from work.
Yeah.
How many people out there are staying home from work this week?
How many people?
So, I know I am.
I don't know if I can. I might, though.
Did you get the notice from your city?
Well-
There was a city.
Well,
I'm on the list, so I get notifications from the city that you live in, and it looks like they're taking the situation seriously. I'd be surprised if they make you come in and deal with the public. But okay, we can end it. I don't think anybody's protesting us ending it.
I don't think so either. I think, you know what, I've said everything I'm going to say. Folks, and the truth is, it's very difficult for people that basically want to protest these fanatical anti-racists because they have a lot of power. At this moment, they have a lot of power. And they are able to do things and get away with things that other groups cannot, including getting violent. And this person here, basically, he supports that kind of thing. He's a very,
That's just censorship in a way.
They're in favor of censorship, and they're also in favor of political violence. Let's make no mistake about it. Absolutely in favor of it.
Right.
And they get away with it. And that's what gets me angriest the most. They're in favor of disrupting anyone having a meeting and talking about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also in favor of political censorship and political violence.
Maybe it's because people put too much value in a platform like YouTube. If one individual can go and click dislike 6 times when they're only one person, how much stock can you put in something like that?
Hey, there are people that don't like us.
We're up,
Well, what can you do?
Yeah, there's only 5 dislikes. So.
Well, he'll put it up to 7. No, I don't want. Of course, I don't.
Do we want 7? No, that's why we're doing a show. We're putting our energy into this.
But it's
beg me to.
I'm begging you. I don't want to beg anybody, dude. You should do what's right.
Oh my God!
You should do what's right regardless. I mean, you could do your own show if you want to. Do it. Do what you feel is necessary and right. If you feel that this show deserves an additional thumbs down, now we're talking. That's your right. That's about trans. I mean, I wonder how you feel and why you feel that that's the case. Maybe I'm not the person to be speaking on this issue. I'm just pointing out what I notice, and I'm pointing out what I look, and I accept other people's points of view. By the way, Joe, did we get? Can we look at my Twitter before we leave and see if we've gotten any other?
Yeah.
Hold on. Go here.
Hold on. I'm putting up the show so we can show everybody.
Yeah. Hold on. Go.
So there we go. Our likes and dislikes. Let's go to Twitter. We got a conversation here. Oh, it's just him. All right.
Yeah, he's the one controlling the conversation here, just all over the place. It's wonderful. Anyway, this guy wants to strengthen the gap between minority communities. I don't know why he needs to do that. Does he feel that there's a lot of mistreatment out there with minorities? Give me a break. I don't agree with him at all. And, yeah. Anyway, that's about all I have to say on that.
So Darren's going to work tomorrow. Only Monday and Tuesday, I think he said he was just going to work a couple days this week.
All right, yeah. I mean, the coronavirus, basically everyone's staying home. We'll talk about the difference. I want to do some more studies on that. We might do a movie show.
Oh yeah, we got a movie show coming. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna have a lot of time to podcast. So we're gonna do some live streaming. Make sure you join us for more.
It's my bald head.
All right, let's end this thing.
All right.
Good night, everybody. Have a good day. And there we go.